Today's reading comes from The Unbearable Lightness of Being from Czech novelist Milan Kundera. The heavier the burden, the closer our lives come to the earth, the more real and truthful they become. Conversely, the absolute absence of burden causes man to be lighter than air, to soar into heights, take leave of the earth and his earthly being, and become only half real, his movements as free as they are insignificant.
What then shall we choose? Weight or lightness?
When we want to give expression to a dramatic situation in our lives, we tend to use metaphors of heaviness. We say that something has become a great burden to us. We either bear the burden or fail and go down with it. We struggle with it, win or lose.
And Sabina, what had come over her? Nothing. She had left a man because she felt like leaving him. Had he persecuted her? Had he tried to take revenge on her? No. Her drama was a drama not of heaviness, but of lightness. What fell to her lot was not the burden, but the unbearable lightness of being. You have a copy of the Heart Sutra in case you would like to follow along. Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, when deeply practicing Prajnaparamita clearly saw all five aggregates are empty and thus relieved all suffering. Shariputa, form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. Form itself is emptiness. Emptiness itself form. Sensations, perceptions, formations, and consciousness are also like this Shariputra. All dharmas are marked by emptiness. They neither arise or cease, are neither defiled nor poor, neither increase or decrease. Therefore, given emptiness, there is no form, no sensation, no perception, no formation, no consciousness, no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no sight, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object of mind, no realm of sight, no realm of mind consciousness. There is neither ignorance nor extinction of ignorance, neither old age or death, nor extinction of old age or death, no suffering, no cause, no cessation, no path, no knowledge, and no attainment. With nothing to attain, a bodhisattva relies on Prajnaparamita, and thus the mind is without hindrance. Without hindrance, there's no fear. Beyond all inverted views, one realizes nirvana. All Buddhas of past, present, and future rely on Prajnaparamita and thereby attain unsurpassed, complete, perfect enlightenment. Therefore, know that Prajnaparamita as the great miraculous mantra, the great bright mantra, the supreme mantra, the incomparable mantra, which removes all suffering and is true nor false. Therefore we proclaim the Prajnaparamita mantra, the mantra that says, Gate, para sangate, bodhisvaha. Thank you, John, and all those who chanted the Heart Sutra. One day I'll talk about it, but I thought I would just put it on the table this morning. Welcome to the buffet. Hope you get fed. I'm wearing brown Buddhist robes as a committed student of Buddhism. And I have a question for you. Actually, a ton of questions. As a matter of fact, most of what I have are questions. How can our liberatory practices, all that we do, within the context of community and our personal disciplines, evoke lightness within our beingness, lightness within our beingness? Blessed bell hooks, American author, theorist, educator, and social critic, offers us this. I am often struck by the dangerous narcissism fostered by spiritual rhetoric that pays so much attention to individual self-improvement and so little to the practice of love within the context of community. Hallelujah. Praise be. Yes. Yes. A couple of weeks ago, I offered some concepts of spirit. If we are a community of faith, if spirit is within the text that we say every time we light the chalice, the word is there, right? How do we define it? So I offered some very fancy scholarship and some $5 words, many of them from other languages. And you might recall them. Prana, Chi, Ruach, Pneuma, Elan vital, the vital force, the holy wind, the breath of life. I offered many definitions back then, so this morning I'm very interested in you actually saying out loud how you define spirit. Joy. Thank you. Don't make me come to you because I will. Or please do. I love this. Energy, spirit, infinity, creativity. Something with the other over here. Feeling with the other, yes. Animation, connection, commitment, spark, meaning, being. All right, let's breathe those in. Yeah. Spirit. What kind of spirit are you in this morning? What kind of spirit's moving you these days? Many of you are familiar that Unitarian Universalists developed a curriculum with the UCC way back when. They even had to go to Supreme Court. I think he might have got to Supreme Court. Maybe he didn't get to the Supreme Court, but he got to some really heavy litigious battles when congregations, parents, guardians started teaching sex ed to children because they were not getting it, and it's important. So they start offering Our Whole Lives. You familiar with Our Whole Lives curriculum? Wonderful. So Our Whole Lives acknowledge that children have their consciousness, their spirit, however they may define it, and they have bodies that need to be, tended to and educated about, yes? and it's a way to stay in community, to relate to one another. So OWL has a couple definitions of spirituality, because the program, it's actually not just for children, it goes all the way to later seasons in one's life. So adulthood, so we acknowledge that physical body, sexuality, and gender, it's still part of one's existence until one graduates from this human existence. So here are some definitions from the book How to Help Your Child Have a Spiritual Life by Annette Hollander. I quote, "We are all adult and child, unique personalities, living our life histories in time and space, and yet also part of a large whole that stretches into infinity in all directions, and for which time-space concepts simply do not apply." Another definition. When our material, local sense is transcended, we have access to something significantly beyond ourselves, which may be within. Another one. Fully connected with nature, other people, things, living a life in fully conscientious, caring, aware way. Recognizing that we are part of a life force that encompasses all. Another, a slightly longer one, a feeling, a connection to a higher power of being, something larger than any person, time, or place, with a feeling of being uplifted out of the ordinary level of daily living. The mystery of the all-full, awful. Anything that transcends the individual's consciousness. Experiencing wonder means relating to the non-ordinary, non-rational, implies wholeness and union. And the last one, experienced as love, wonder, awe, fear, comfort, and mystical feelings. Any definition of spirit that we could lift up that does not get anywhere near what's been shared so far? The ineffable within. Thank you, Mary. Yeah. And thank you for welcoming. Let's give it up for our ushers. Thank you, Lincoln. Thank you for, making it possible. I love the word consciousness. And I hope it works for those that consider themselves secularists, humanists, that the other stuff do not work. Yeah? I subscribe to Bridging Toward Belonging on Substack by Brian Stout, and one of the recent articles titled Fumbling Toward Liberation, The Bumpy Path to Belonging, Commitment to Liberatory Practices. He proposes 5 guiding principles for liberatory practices. Because in my understanding, when we talk about spirit and we talk about this community, it's about liberation, isn't it? It's about being together and working towards that beloved community. So here are the 5 principles. First one, inner work is essential. We got to work on our shit, to put it theologically. Because if we're not, hurt people hurt, right? So we're bound to pass that on or impose that on somebody else. So inner work is essential. Embodying the future we want. Embodying the future we want. Theory, amazing. And I love to think. I love theories. And embodying it is where things really get tested, right? Number 3, transformation happens in relationship. I so wish I could be a monk in some mountain out there. Relationship is really key for us to understand our humanity through the humanity of others. Number 4, centering equity, attending to power. Oof. Someday we'll talk a little bit more about this. But equity is critical, isn't it? And the fifth, centered accountability. And those that follow Unitarian Universalism, politics, and theology, very familiar with all the discussions that happened for quite a few years for us to get to the Article 2, which is an effort to bring the social principles, the 7 principles, into the practice of accountability. Because saying fancy words are wonderful, aren't they? I love saying fancy words and warm, fuzzy feelings and statements, and accountability is necessary, isn't it? So they are lived out. So I'm not going to get into all those points, but more questions. Are you feeling encouraged to bring your full self into this community? Your full self. Heart, mind, as Buddhists say, or heart, mind, spirit, or heart, mind, soul, or heart, mind, consciousness. Are you feeling encouraged to bring all parts of yourself? Your body as your body is, your mind as your mind is, your spirit, your soul. All right. So I'm going to break down, I'm going to just get into the point 1 and point 2, inner work. And I'm going to quote once again Brian Stout. We are interdependent. We are interdependent. My liberation, your liberation, and global liberation are all connected. In building belonging, we call this concept I, we, world. The I, we, world. It is about bringing our full selves and co-creating the conditions for everyone else to show up fully and authentic. Are you feeling encouraged to show up fully and authentically with all the beauty, the warts, the good parts, the not so good bits? Now, number 2, embodying the future we want. And I quote, we must practice living that way right now in the present. Parenthesis, echoes of John Lewis' vision of beloved community. Cultivating and assessing these visions requires accessing multiple ways of knowing, embodiment. Here speaking to integrating head, heart, body, and spirit. Continue on a quote. And it's not enough to have principles. We have principles. I just offer you 5 principles. Not enough. We need partners with whom to collaborate. Creating these containers for transformation, communities of liberatory practice, is essential to navigating this moment. And I don't know about you, but you're finding that this moment in time, space, in the existence of this blue marble floating through space a little bit challenging? I'm not alone. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Brian Stout also relies on bell hooks. And here's the quote that he selected from the book, All About Love. Rarely, if ever, are any of us healed in isolation. Healing is an act of communion. Healing is an act of communion. And I know the word communion is loaded. Yes, I still identify as Christian as well. Communion, as in community, as in sharing, as in journeying together. How mindfully and lovingly are you listening to yourself, beloved? As we had a young human mentioning this morning that he did. He listened to himself. How are you connecting all the parts that make up the democratic republic of you? How are you connecting and liberating your heart, mind, spirit? Because if you're not connecting and liberating your heart, mind, spirit, how can we do that? And equally important, how you're collaborating to the healing and liberating of our community so we all can awaken love and justice in our lives and the world. And that's from the mission of this congregation. That's why I joined you. Sonia Rennie Taylor asked, what if joy is already here? What if joy is already here? And I got to this quote from my beloveds from Infleshed. If you haven't heard of Inflesh, please look them up. Inflesh, amazing resources. Infleshed, spiritual nourishment for collective liberation. And in the essay by my beloved Reverend Anna Blado, the co-founder of Infleshed, they lift up a quote from Claudia Rankine from the poem Just Us. And I offer these verses as my prayer for you. What if what I want from you is new, newly made, a new sentence in response to all my questions, a swerve in our relationship and the words that carry us, the care that carries, justice, and the openings for just us. Here's a funny thing. The New Yorker has a review of this poem, and the title for the review is The Burdened Insights of Claudia Rankins. Yeah. Yes, beloved. What are your daily routine practice these days? What are your daily routine practices these days? And your daily levitating practices so you can live into the weightiness and lightness of your being. How? How are you practicing these days so you can hold the weightiness and be the lightness? And that's critical for the work that we do as a community. So please let us know, let somebody know if you need some assistance or some help in holding up the weight and finding and experiencing the lightness. And I'll pause with the wisdom by modern day prophet, Reverend Dr. Howard Thurman. There's something in every one of you that waits. So listen for the sound of the genuine in yourself. And if you cannot hear it, you will never find whatever it is for which you are searching. And if you hear it and do not follow it, it was better that you had never been born. You will, all of your life, spend your days on the ends of strings that somebody else pulls. And we have a blessing by beautiful chorus that I also recommend you get into their art. It's a beautiful song titled Hymn of Healing, Hymn of Healing. And I invite you to receive it, repeat any words that may resonate with you, or just let it wash over you. beloved, you are a radiant being. I pray that you heal from a whole place and you continue to shine. Deep peace of the nourishing earth to you, deep peace of the gentle rivers to you, deep peace of soothing skies to you, deep peace of gliding birds to you, to you, to you, and all beings, and all beings. Blessed be. Blessed be.
I'm going back and forth because I'm trying to give you my attention.
Right.
You are worthy of my attention.
Right? Yes.
Okay. Is it going or is it stopped?
It's going.
Okay.
I think. Let me make sure.
Number 10.
Yes. Yes.
10 is a nice round number.
It is beautiful. It's gorgeous.
This is going to be the take for us.
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm Reverend Abby Tennis, and I use she, her pronouns.
I'm Reverend Alexandre da Silva Soto, and my pronouns are they, them, and theirs.
And we are the ministers of the First Unitarian Church of Philadelphia, where it is our mission to awaken love and justice in our lives and in the world. We're so glad you watched this video, and we hope that its message connects with your soul.
We also want to invite you to join us for Zoom services Sunday morning at 11 a.m. or come in person at 2125 Chestnut Street, Center City, Philadelphia.
Whether you join in person or online, in these services you'll hear messages like you just heard. You'll get a chance to sing together, pray together, and even greet one another in coffee hour afterwards, whether you're brand new or a longtime member.
You can always find a Zoom link to our services and more about what to expect on Sunday mornings on our website, philauu.org, philauu.org. The link is below.
If you are connecting with this message and feel moved to give to the mission of this congregation, we invite you to click on the link below again and follow the prompts to give, or send a text message to 215-709-5095. And again, follow the prompts.
If someone in your life needs to hear these words today, please share this video. And again, thank you so much for watching.
We hope to see you soon.
See you soon. Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
I think.